Evidence linking her to the crime scene, threatening letter from her to one of the Vics. Let's arrange a gig for her in the interview room and see if she'll sing for us.
What? A stage where I wasn't wanted? Where I was being replaced? Hell no. Why the hell would I?
Ever suffer from nosebleeds?
I don't know what you're getting at.
Evidence at the crime scene put you there. Possibly thanks to a certain expensive habit you have. Any comment?
No comment at all. Because I have no idea what you're talking about. I do know I was never there, and you know why? Because I didn't want anything to do with those sons of bitches.
So you're saying you never party with those guys anymore? For old time's sake?
Yeah, sure. I get real nostalgic about those has-been jackasses. Always great to get high with a bunch of bring-downs. Hey, I grew up a long time ago. You want to find yourself a party girl? Look no farther than Miss Kathy Butterwood Melt.
A handwriting analysis confirms you wrote this note found in Andrea's hotel suite.
You manipulative, lying bastards. Now I know what my autograph means to you. I don't have to talk to you people.
Come on, take us behind the music.
Look, I did write that note for Andrea, but it's not what you think. And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Miss Wilde, we notice you have some sort of residue on the strap of your dress.
Okay. I got a rough schedule. Multiple shows night after night. Once in a while, I might need a little help before a gig. Understand? Bust me? What good does it do anybody?
We're gonna have to take a sample. It'll just take a second.
Make it quick, would ya? And Blue Eyes? You can forget about that backstage pass. I told you what I know.
This matches the chemicals found on Andrew's clothing. The same fire retardant found on the switch inside the echo pedal. Now how does this fit in?
Yes, I am. And you would be?
Ward Brown, and this is my partner. We're investigators with the Las Vegas Crime Lab, and we're looking into the bullet train fatalities.
Does the crime lab usually look into accidental death? Or is it just because this involves celebrities and was a tad on the bizarre side?
Bizarre, all right, but no accident. This was murder, and we need to talk to you about it.
Murder? My God. My band is murdered and no one even informs me? Here I've been all day working on a press release about the accident, and I have to start the hell over. Like my time isn't worth a diddly damn. God. Are you kidding me? Do you know a single damn thing about Bullet Train? They were the original bad boys who grew up to be horrible boys. Enemies? Try having concert promoter and hotel manager in Western Europe, Japan, and the good old US of A. Then there's Australia. Those scamps managed to get themselves deported 2 weeks into a 3-month tour. Andrea? Not really. She knew how to handle the boys. And you know how those contestants are, going out of their way to make everybody like them. Todd. Oh yeah, he's the original nebbish. It's true. The guy was the band's doormat. They banished him from the bus for some imagined infraction. And the poor jerk had to hitchhike 40 miles to the next gig. And yet he still showed on time. Dirty, starving, and exhausted. But right there for the guys. Oh, by the way, you know how they repaid him for his loyalty? They let him ride in the bus on the next leg in the luggage compartment. And how did he stand up to him? He didn't. He worshiped those clowns.
I mean, they picked on me, but it was always in fun. They know I work hard for them, and they're still just kids at heart, just encouraging me to lighten up about things. They never meant any harm by it. I'm pretty sure I told you everything I know already.
Sure thing. I'll prepare the body. Sure thing. I'll prepare the body.
Hey, what's up? She's on her way to interrogation now.
You know what song I'm gonna sing for you jokers? Silent Night. And it ain't even Christmas.
Fine, Ms. Wilde. For now, I'll take a solo. Your ex-husband's on national TV, seeking a younger, sleeker... you. Finds one in Andrea Stevenson. You send a note to scare her off, but figuring that won't work, you show up with a fire extinguisher to dampen their hunka-hunka burning love. Afterward, you decide you've had it, so you break into the studio and steal Andrea's echo pedal. You open the pedal, improvise a few revisions, and put it back. The evidence ties you to the scene. Chemical residue connects you with the murder weapon. You wrote a threatening note to one of the victims, providing plenty of motive to ensure your farewell tour starts and ends on death row.
Listen, I get that this looks really, really bad, but you're reading it wrong. Yeah, I wrote that note all right, but I wasn't trying to warn her off Ray. I was trying to get her to leave poor Todd alone. That overgrown kid had been bitching about Andrea to me for weeks, figuring I'd be a sympathetic ear. I mean, Todd was crazy about Andrea from the start, but she thought he was a creep and told him so. And then, after she became a finalist, all of a sudden they're an item? I mean, Todd was close to the band. I figured the bitch had to be using him. Okay, I'm gonna be straight with you guys, even though I might be looking at a drug bust. But murder, that's not me. Yeah, I was there. I'd been drinking, I was high, and I couldn't stop thinking how Todd was getting the short end from that slut Andrea. So I went to the Jet to see him, to reason with the poor jerk.
Jet? Don't you mean Set?
No. They practically lived in that private jet of theirs. That Eddie character, he couldn't put the band up in hotels anymore, not with their track record of trashing the joints. Don't be too impressed. It's a rental. Talk to Eddie about it. Well, Todd normally crashes there, only when I showed up, Todd had split. Well, Ray and me, we got to talking, and hey, you know how it is. Sometimes old flames rekindle. He reminded me real quick what a self-centered ass he is. We were in each other's arms 1 minute, next, I'm tossed off the jet like some damn groupie. I was beyond pissed off. I hauled it right over to that studio and I started tearing that crap apart. I probably lost that straw then. Last straw, right?
The residue we found on your dress was flame retardant. Any idea where it came from?
Not the slightest. Rest of the night, like I said before, I was around the casino. Didn't shower or change or anything. Maybe that retarded stuff was on the jet. Hey, listen, can you give me a pass on the drug thing? This gets out in the papers. I'll lose my lounge gig.
We'll see how your story checks out. We do appreciate your help, and this isn't a Vice investigation. But, don't go on tour, Ms. Wilde. Only local appearances, okay?
I told you what I know.
Where did you get that stupid idea? Oh yeah, that ridiculous memo. Come on, man, you know the entertainment media, all the news that's fit to invent. Look, I couldn't fix the contest even if I wanted to, and neither could the band. It's the public who votes, and the public who buys the CDs, baby. Supply and demand, and I'll supply. Oh, thanks, man. I know I must sound pretty cold. You know, the boys did have talent, or I wouldn't have put up with all the... Anyway, I appreciate the kind words. Too bad our last label didn't agree with you.
Hey, could I snag one of those demo CDs? I'm a big fan.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'll be leaking some of the tracks onto the internet soon anyway, and then getting mad and acting like somebody else leaked it.
Now, why would Eddie be personally checking the band's equipment?
Rise and shine in the county slammer. Could be Texas or maybe Alabama. I'm not the end of the bottle. I shot too many, I shot too many. I'm down on my luck and I ain't got a penny. I shot too many. And when I'm back on the streets, I'll just do it again and again. I shot too many, I shot too many, I shot too many, I shot too many.
Show's in big trouble, then suddenly it's all over the media with ratings bound to jump, thanks to a few homicides. Band had been threatening to fire him, plus we got his prints on the echo pedal, aka the murder weapon. Take a stroll around that studio, why don't you, and see if you can come away with any catchy tunes.
Eddie, we're ready to look and touch. Here's your warrant.
Do what you have to do and get out of here. You break it, you bought it.
prong was probably torn from the power cord using a pair of pliers or a similar tool. Seems to be the schematics for an echo pedal like the rigged one at the crime scene, which you'll recall had Eddie's fingerprints on it.
I hear you have a new lead on the Rockstar murders.
Eddie, the band's manager. He's got motive and opportunity. I imagine he stands to make more money off of Bullet Train CD sales now that the band is dead.
I imagine you can back that up with evidence?
Well, we know that Eddie was under pressure from the TV execs to fix the contest so that Andrea would win. We have his fingerprints on the echo pedal that was essentially the murder weapon. His computer contained detailed schematics for the altered echo pedal, and the ground prong that was found in his recording studio caused the electrocution.
Nice work. The evidence tells a good story. Are you on your way to see Brass for a warrant?
Yeah. Time to get Eddie in our own recording booth and see where he fits into the mix.
Yeah, well, this ain't my contract. Distinctly back off, Greek.
Cut me a break, guys. Eddie says he wants some behind-the-scenes stuff. You know, DVD extras.
Well, here's something extra for you, Toady. And Eddie, too. There won't be any DVD unless Bullet Train releases it. Not after I get through suing those greedy lion ass. Oh, Todd, don't moan. Tell you what, stick around. When your little girlfriend shows up, shoot some amateur porn while me and the boys pass her around. You shouldn't talk about people like that. You're evil.
Eddie had the schematics of the echo pedal, which he thoughtfully left his prints on, and now evidence indicates he fooled with the power cords. Let's get the manager-producer over here and see if he can manage to produce an explanation. Before we start, mind if I call you Eddie?
Yes, I do mind.
We need you to help us through a few snags we've run into.
If you know, tell me, because I don't.
That pedal was altered for a shocking reason, and the schematics we found on the computer in your studio would have been very helpful to whoever did it.
Yeah, right. Look, I'm sure this is all very interesting. And when you work it all out, be sure to leave a message on my machine. I have a business to run and to promote, and the entertainment news people happen to be waiting for me at my studio right now.
We're interested in some news, too. As in how that doctored pedal changed the current on Andrea's mic. In your studio, we found this prong that was pried up the power cord on Andrea's mic. Without that prong, the power cord couldn't ground the current, and Andrea and the band took the full jolt.
Right, a tragedy. And you obviously know more about it than I do, than I care to, really. Our tech Todd's there time to time, does some AV work at the studio. The band, of course. Kathy and Andrea both recorded there.
Let's see if this melody is familiar. Your show's in the dumper, network's threatening to pull it from the schedule and toss you in the circular file, should the finale tank. The train's threatening to sue you over their best tracks in years, possible CD or two, DVD action, and you decide dying would be a good career move for these ungrateful, overage bad boys. You latch onto that echo pedal and its power cord, download some schematics, and soon you've created some very real buzz for Bullet Train.
Whoa. Guys, look, back off, okay? Think. Just think for a minute. Bullet Train. Those guys were a pain in the ass. But what rock group is it? They were laying down great sides, and if the TV ratings weren't high enough for the execs, we were still playing to a way bigger audience than the band had seen in years. Why would I want to wreck that train? I can't explain how that stuff got in my studio, but I do remember the morning of rehearsal, Todd came by the studio. The stage set had been trashed in the night, and I was so furious. I was so upset I ran over there to check out the damage. I must have touched that pedal then. Take it up for a spin if it'll get this over with. Probably that psycho bitch Jill Wild. Not that I can prove it. I mean, you know she's raised X-Ball and Chain, right? And she was bent out of shape. The band taking on a new lead singer in such a public way. I don't have any more information to give you.
Good to work. We don't have permission to search this, yet. You'll want a different tool for that. have here? Pedal with the missing screw. Printed pedal diagram. Todd may have given his life to Bullet Train, but it could be Bullet Train gave their lives to Todd.
Nice work.
And now we know how our flame retardant entered the game.
Hey, what's up? He's on his way to interrogation now.
What?
Todd, you surprised me. You're not just a backstage boy. You're a player. A beauty like Andrea, man. Surprised the tape didn't melt. All it lacks is audio and maybe some funky 70s disco.
Cut me a break, guys. I said Andrea and me hit it off, so I wanted a video to remember it by. Well, if that makes me a pervert, I got a lot of company. It's not like I was gonna put it on the internet or anything.
That echo pedal and the schematics in your quarters made it onto your tape and gave us something to remember you by.
No way. That's a fuzzy, awful homemade video. You could never see stuff that small.
Maybe Andrea dug you, or maybe she was using you. But you didn't care. Either way, you jumped from stalker to rocker of her world. Only small world, the rest of the band was too. So you rig the pedal, but forget to put back the screw. The boys blasting that fire extinguisher, while the two of you were making it, that pushed you over. That erased any doubt, and the plan went from half daydream to full reality.
No.
Afterward, you went to Eddie's studio, and as soon as he left, planted evidence against him. What went wrong, Todd? Was it finding out Andrea was riding the entire train? Or did you decide if you couldn't have her, nobody could?
It wasn't supposed to be that way. I had no way of knowing those stupid bastards would take their boots off and get into it like that, holding on to her, and her mic, and the mic stand. Hell. But they liked her more than Kathy, didn't they? Wanted Andrea to win. She put the idea in my head. She told me if Andrea was gone, if she were around, I could really be part of the band. Only with Andrea, I'd always be just a nothing. Always a nobody. Then she said frame Eddie and be the train's manager. And none of those guys would ever push me around again. No, you're not listening. Kathy. That's not Andrea on the tape, it's Kathy. Kathy's the one that slept with me. Kathy's the one who slept with the band, not Andrea. Andrea was... she had more class than that. She was good. Too good for the train. Too good for me.
Okay, so Kathy dresses up like Andrea for a little role play in the hay. Then Kathy explains how you can have it all. Just reverse a little electrical switch and take Andrea out of the game.
Doesn't look like Kathy on the tape.
It's her, all right. She said she found a memo in Eddie's studio about rigging the contest against her. She knew I was in a bad way over Andrea. So she started coming on to me. When, she was through servicing the band. She'd wear Andrea's clothes and put on a wig, and it was like I always dreamed. And Kathy said it would be like this all the time for me if she won. She made me feel like a winner for once. I never meant to hurt the boys. Suddenly they take off their shoes like Andrea, and I couldn't stop it. It was a total accident, a nightmare right in front of my face. Yeah, they could be mean, but I loved their music, and they were my whole life for as long as I can remember. I just wanted to be in a place where they would where they'd have to respect me. Go ahead, arrest me. I deserve it for stupidity. But you've got to stop her. Kathy's the evil one. Look, that jet is mic'd to record audio for the TV show. There's a drawer just under the TV bar on the plane where the daily tapes are stored. You're gonna find tape 23 real interesting, especially about 3 hours in. They're in the jet. Look in the drawer under the TV bar.
This is what you want, isn't it? This is what you dreamed of. I'm the dream of her. You can have that dream at any time, baby. Any time. If you get rid of the nightmare, the her that will give you the time of day. And I'll be her for you. For the band. They won't mess with you anymore. Not when you're the manager. Just do it. Do it. Rig the pedal. Smart man like you. Easy. Use those schematics. You can figure it out in a second.
Surprise, Stinky!
Well, that confirms Todd's story. He was coerced into rigging the echo pedal. Let's do a voice comparison to be sure it's Kathy. Nice work. That's the bona fide imitation Andrea, Kathy Cantanta. So it seems Todd never did have a relationship with Andrea, except in his fevered imagination. So he settled on the runner-up. Let's bring her in.
Voice comparison proves that Kathy is the one who sexually coerced Todd into committing murder. Nice work. Without it, she might have skated.
And he's named you as an accomplice.
I'm not surprised Todd was responsible, but you better think again about trying to bring me into it. That lunatic acted alone.
Actually, it was a duet. And we have one of your most spirited performances on tape. See how many notes it takes you to name this tune.
Just do it. Do it. Rig the pedal. Smart man like you. It's easy. Use those schematics. You can figure it out in a second.
Well, that's not me. That's Andrea.
A reasonable facsimile of Andrea, but forensic voice analysis confirms the voice is yours.
No way. It's not me.
You may want to sing a different tune after you hear our rendition. Todd had a major yen for Andrea, who the band had pegged for their new lead singer. She snubbed Todd, and you stepped in, helped him live out his fantasy. And in the heat of that, you offered him so much more. A position of respect with his precious train. All he had to do was arrange an accident for Andrea, the woman who spurned him, plus help pin it on Eddie. eliminating him from the show before he could eliminate you.
You downloaded and printed the Echo Pedal schematics on Eddie's computer so Todd could alter it. You sold Todd by plying him with the loving attention Andrea refused him. You removed the competition. And a bonus track, the band that spurned.
You become Train's last lead singer with those Train tracks in the can and go on to a high-profile solo career. Sweet.
I want a lawyer. You people are trying to railroad me.
Well, that's a new one, Kathy.
What do you mean?
First time I heard you sing the blues. Well, those hard-rocking dinosaurs may have had careers near extinction. But they, and the young and talented Andrea, just didn't deserve to meet Elvis so soon. On the flip side, Kathy and Todd only have one song to sing from now on. The Jailhouse Rock. Good work.
All right, here's your evaluation. For evidence, you found everything there was to find. For hints, you didn't need any at all. And, at the end of the day, you followed the evidence to a clear conclusion. Can't argue with that. Outstanding work. You've investigated every possible angle on this case. I'm giving you the highest mark available. Doesn't happen often, but I'm very impressed. And by the way, I very much appreciate the new addition you found for my collection.